Have you ever been perfectly fine and then open your phone? Nothing was wrong. Your day was normal, maybe even peaceful. And then suddenly, within 3 minutes of scrolling, you feel behind. Behind in life, behind in success, and behind in happiness. Meanwhile, 5 minutes earlier, you were just sitting there thinking, you know what? Today's actually not that bad. And now you're reevaluating your entire existence because someone you went to high school with just bought a lake house. And you're like, I barely watered my plants today. That shift, that has a name: comparison. I'm Cristina Perry, and this is the podcast where we discuss ways to live healthier, happier, and more fulfilling lives. Last week, we talked about dopamine, how the brain gets hooked on chasing the next hit of stimulation. Today, we're talking about what happens once we're inside that chase: comparison, and how it quietly steals happiness from lives that were actually going pretty well. You're scrolling. Someone bought a house. Someone launched a business. Someone is on vacation. Someone's child just won an award. Someone looks healthier, happier, and more successful. And suddenly, the life you were living 5 minutes ago feels smaller. Nothing about your reality changed, but internally, you're suddenly like, am I doing enough? Should I be further along? Why does everyone else have their life together? Meanwhile, half those people also ate cereal for dinner last night. Comparison is powerful because it edits reality. Comparison isn't a personal flaw, it's biology. Humans evolved in small tribes where belonging and status determine survival. Your brain is constantly asking two questions: where do I fit? And am I doing okay relatively to everyone else? Psychologists call this social comparison theory, first introduced by Leon Festinger. Your brain measures itself sideways. And in small tribes, that worked. But today, your brain is comparing your life to thousands of curated highlight reels, which is like comparing your regular Tuesday to someone else's wedding photo. Comparison doesn't just make us feel jealous. It quietly changes our baseline for satisfaction. Things that once felt meaningful start to feel ordinary. Things that once felt like enough start to feel like they're falling behind. Humans are very good at getting very used to good things and wanting more. You get the promotion. 2 weeks later, you're like, okay, but what's next? You buy the thing you wanted. 3 days later, you're researching a better version of that thing. I notice this in myself sometimes. I could be having a completely calm day. Work done, house quiet, music playing, everything is fine. Then I open my phone. 10 minutes later, I'm suddenly conducting a full life audit. Should I be doing more? Why does everyone else look so certain? Do I need a personal brand now? It escalates quickly. Comparison pulls attention away from your own values. Instead of asking what actually feels meaningful to me, you start asking what looks impressive to other people. And that's dangerous. You could spend years chasing goals you never actually wanted. Success that looks good on paper, but doesn't feel good in your body. So here's a small interruption technique. The next time the thought "I'm behind" shows up, pause and ask, compared to who? And according to what timeline? Because social media compresses 10 years of someone's life into 10 seconds of content, and your brain interprets it as happening all at once, which is like watching the highlight reel of someone's career and thinking it all happened last Tuesday. Happiness grows when attention returns to your own lane, your values, your pace, your nervous system, not the internet's timeline, because there will always be someone ahead of you in something, always. There's probably a 12-year-old somewhere doing it better, and that's totally okay. The next episode, we're going to talk about something most people don't expect about happiness: why peace can actually feel uncomfortable, especially if you spend most of your life operating in stress and urgency. If this episode made you laugh and feel slightly exposed at the same time, share it with someone who also accidentally spirals on Instagram. And if you're enjoying this happiness series, subscribe so you don't miss the next conversation. I'm Christina Perry, and this has been another session for your soul.